Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course. Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I might have only woken up about an hour ago, but I'm starting to get a little bit more into it. We can do this, but we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, what's the... Destructo disc. I was trying to think of a good move. I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a super cool shirt, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, though? Happens to be my Son Goku DBZ shirt. I assume that says Son Goku, but obviously I don't know what the fuck. If you're somehow familiar with Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, I mean, it's pretty much the biggest anime franchise of all time at this point. And, it's been going since the 80s, started with the original Dragon Ball run, then eventually kind of DBZ was really where it exploded, really kind of took on a life of its own. And, it's been massive ever since. I remember being a little kid, fairly little, middle schoolish, and they would go over there and they would run the episodes on UPN, when that network still existed, on like Saturday mornings. And it would always do that thing where it would get to the Ginyu Force episodes, and then it would cut, and it would have to go all the way back because that was all the episodes they had. Anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, I think this should be good because I'm typically a fan of the company in general, but it happens to be, boom, it's from Sun Chips, and it's new. It's their honey barbecue flavored Sun Chips. All right, yeah. So, I mean, I like Sun Chips. I've even reviewed some Sun Chips. I did like their black bean queso or some shit like that. I don't know. You can look it up if you're interested. I like their harvest cheddar. I like their garden salsa. Like, by and large, I don't think I've had a flavor of Sun Chips where I didn't enjoy it. So, all right, let's get a thing for the thing here real quick. I'm gonna try to work with the thing here. Try out some honey barbecue Sun Chips. It's kind of surprising it's taken them this long to get to it. I mean, barbecue's a extremely common flavor of chip, but I think that's maybe part of the reason why. Maybe they wanted to, separate themselves a little bit from the other chip companies. Ooh, smells barbecuey. Okay. That's a good honey barbecue chip. That's really good. The honey carries really nicely. And I don't know if that's just, the amount of flavorings that they're using or if that's the makeup of the chip or what have you. But, I remember being a kid, I always loved barbecue chips. Barbecue chips are great. But I remember as a kid, man, barbecue chips, as good as they were, the flavor did not last very long. It kind of hit and then it was gone. And as time has rolled on, more and more chip companies have gotten a lot better at, putting out barbecue chips and, increasing the flavor. So I've always appreciated that. And it's nice that, Sun Chips has taken that to heart and they've sort of, continued on with that. Because I'm not going to say it's it has the most explosive barbecue flavor I've had on a chip. I've certainly had ones that have hit a little bit harder. But once it really takes effect, it holds. Even after it's gone, you still have kind of this nice sort of sweet after effect to it. Yeah, it's really nice. And I like that they pushed the honey element to it. Not too long ago, just about a couple weeks ago or something, I reviewed some hot honey Pringles. You can watch my review if you want my full take on that, but I personally felt like those, they didn't do anywhere near enough with the honey to really make it worth it. With these, the honey element is really nice. It's not overly sweet though. It still has that sort of savory kick from the barbecue. It is more of like a sort of sweet and tangy kind of barbecue flavor, which for me, if you watch my channel, I tend to prefer like smokier, richer. But I think these work perfectly nice on a chip. Yeah. Those are proper. And then they have that, I don't know how personally people feel about like the texture and the general vibe of Sun Chips, but I've always really liked them. They're definitely, they have a different sort of mouthfeel, to use that term, than like normal potato chips. They're made up of like grains or what the fuck ever. So they're a little bit more coarse, but not in an abrasive way. And, like I said, they have that Sun Chip vibe, and then you just have that nice sort of honey barbecue flavor layered on top. They're not overly sweet, they're not overly savory. They just have a nice sort of, I'd say they're a little bit more sweet than they are tangy, but again, like not to the extent where it's gonna throw you off or anything. Really good. I can get along with these just fine. Okay. I just got through reviewing this, by the way. Lipton's Fusion Strawberry Lemonade. Go watch that review. Alright, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get these again? Would I recommend them? I personally have to go with yes and yes. Now, I will say this. Those are not my favorite Sun Chips. I think for me personally, the Garden Salsa and the Harvest Cheddar probably would still outrank it. But those are nice. Like, I like those. I like the way that the barbecue is applied. There's definitely, chips out there, like other barbecue chips, that I would grab before these if I wanted a straight barbecue chip. But I think overall, still a really nice product, still a really nice means of implementing it and everything. And it's not overdone. It doesn't, throw you off with the flavors or anything. It's kind of what you expect, but in its own unique way. Like, I think the way that they applied it is really cool. So I could definitely grab these again. If I'm recommending them, yeah. I think that, if you already enjoyed barbecue chips, no reason to not give these a whack. Again, I don't know personally where they will fall for you, but for me personally, they do have, or rather, they're not like the most amazing barbecue chips, but they're a good, solid barbecue chip. And because they are Sun Chips, they're a little bit different. They're a little bit unique in the overall flavor profile by comparison to, something like Lay's or or even like Pringles. So, yeah, I would say, like I said, these are a new product. Give them a shot. I think you'll probably enjoy them. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and themselves a truly Sun Chips-tastic rest of your life. Because again, Sun Chips are good. I don't have anything. They're always just tasty and good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you have a personal favorite flavor of Sun Chips? If so, what is it? What's your jam? Because like I said, for me, I think garden salsa's got to be my personal favorite, man. I love that stuff. That is typically, if there's a bag of that available, I will grab that. But, they got like sour cream and like I said, the harvest cheddar. Honestly, given how long they've been around at this point, I'm surprised they don't have more flavors to go off of, or that they don't even do like, at least not that I've seen, like limited edition flavors like the other chip companies. But hey, if you got what you got going on, stick with it and make it work. Anyway.